As you know, we all have stories, right? And all of them, can be challenging based on the degree, right, of the adversities. Um, what I do recall, it's something recent that happened, I would say a year and a half ago. Thank you, everybody.
Welcome everybody. Today in the house we have Nairouz Light with us today. So I'm so excited because we have planned this interview for weeks ago. And she's finally here.
Yeah, we made it.
Yes, we made it. So please share with us a little bit about your background so we get to know you more.
Of course. So my name is Nairouz Light. As you mentioned, I am a culture coach. I do work with corporate and individuals to help, strengthen and build a culture within like a work setup, or like depends on what the individual is working for. So I was born and raised in Morocco. I've been in the States for 10 years. It feels just like yesterday. So mom of two, and pretty much it's me.
Yeah, you have a busy life. I mean, you're a mom and a wife and uh,
Very busy.
a coach, so you are busy all the time. So
Yes.
please share with us what has been one of the most challenging experience in your life.
So as you know, we all have stories, right? And all of them, can be challenging based on the degree, right, of the adversities. Um, what I do recall, it's something recent that happened, I would say a year and a half ago. I was dealing with some like severe pain, and none of the doctors were able to find out the main reason. And sadly enough, we are in this era where some of the people in the healthcare industry prefer like a quick fix. So they would pretty much prescribe in me like some medicine that's not a good fit for the situation. And I decided to connect with my body more and can try to kind of like be my own doctor and do that like root cause versus let's just, shut down the symptoms and move on. And so I kept going to the ER because of the pain, and checking like with different doctors, asking my family for like any history of similar like symptoms. And then the really like what was mysterious about the story is that the scans were showing normal. And in reality, I actually had a dead organ inside of me, hanging in there, almost killing me. I lost 40 pounds, couldn't eat, it got to the point that I couldn't drink water. All the while I'm trying to juggle in my life, being a mom of two kids, toddlers, or you know how it is, and other parts of responsibilities that come with life. And so I just remember after the third month, I was just telling them, let's just do a surgery. Let's just, go inside there and figure something out. And they were afraid of operating on me without having like an actual diagnosis and
Mhm.
seeing something in the scans. So I remember going to the ER for the 12th times. And this surgeon looked at me and she said, "You don't look good." And that's when I knew that I pretty much they either have to do something, or something bad is going to happen. And so basically they took me right away. They prepped me for this in the surgery department. I was told that I have to stay there for the night because the surgery was going to happen next day. And they were like, "Hey, we're seeing that you have stones in in your gallbladder. It's not showing any infection, but it's bringing you to the bottom pretty much, so we have to do something about this." And so I was like, yes, let's do it. I had to be courageous and face life, and pretty much go with my body is telling me, and also follow the medical advices. And so I went there for the surgery. And so basically everything went well. It took longer than expected because the organ was getting bigger, because it was like inflamed and
Mhm.
dead inside. So it was sitting there for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks at least. And so when they removed it, because of the complications, some of the stones ended up escaping to my liver duct. And so here I am sitting post-surgery trying to recover. And I have like 7 doctors in front of me. And, you know, like here in the States, the way how they tell you things, they go straight to the point. They don't sugarcoat. So they were coming to me, telling me that things are not looking great in the blood work. There is a chance that something didn't work during the surgery. So we might have to operate on you another time, remove the stones, or we might have to fly you on a helicopter to go to some sort of like facility that deals with corrections post-surgery. And so just processing that, you know, on my own, mind you, it's COVID, you can't have family visits, you can't have your kids with you, you can't have nobody. And so I'm sitting there trying to process the information. And then I was telling myself, I need to just calm down and take it one step after the next, because it's not, I mean, it is what it is, right? So sometimes just the accepting what's bad can be like, you know, reassuring that it's going to be okay, you know, moving forward. And so I just decided to go with the flow and pretty much take it one step after the next. Ended up spending a whole week in there, 7 days, and then going back home on the 8th one to kind of recover. And it's a new journey, you know, ahead of me. So this is just like big picture from, you know, the adversity that I've dealt with and, you know, what brought me, you know, here today.
And I mean, that sounds, you know, being a mom, first of all, you're an immigrant, as in you're here on your own pretty much.
Yes.
So it's not like you have help. You can call a mom, you can call your sister or an aunt, you know, could you please watch my kids? And as you know, I'm an immigrant as well. I can only imagine how scary that would be, you know, because you probably were thinking not only about your health, but it's like, what about my children?
Yeah.
And I can, you know, only imagine what you went through all those 7 days. And were they able to fix everything? Were you okay after you left?
Yeah, so they thank God they were able to do a scope procedure where they just sucked the stones, they removed everything, and you know they prescribed like anti-inflammatories, a diet, and I was like pretty much I ended up having 2 procedures, but it was for my own good, and thank God they were able to, you know, to fix the whole, you know, situation after, you know, that stay in the hospital. And I had to go back home, tell my kids that I can't hold them, I can't carry them because of the stitches and everything. And it was okay for the 5-year-old, but it was not okay for the 2-year-old. So that was another story, you know, another adjustment and, you know, thing to work on as a family and as a mom as well.
Oh. The good thing is that you were going home. You were at home, right?
Yes.
So what kept you going through this experience?
Going back to those 7 days at the hospital, I did something really I would say courageous, because feeling alone in that moment wasn't going to help me. Talking to my family on online on the phone and crying to them wasn't going to help me. Obviously, when I spoke to them, they prayed for me and we exchanged some good energies that was helpful. But looking at what I don't have at that moment was not going to take me anywhere, mentally speaking, right? And so I decided to just start talking to the staff members and sharing with them my story and asking them about theirs. And then there were some beautiful ladies in there who shared with me some amazing stories where they had to do, like, one of the ladies had a brain surgery and she had like babies at that moment. And one of the ladies had to be transported from one hospital to another because she had like the surgery didn't work. And I mean, some like amazing stories that you cannot tell that are you sure you're the one who had this, you know? And you standing here taking care of me, and you have kids home, and you manage all this, like, you know, trauma. And then you realize that, you know what, we are all in the same bucket. All humans go through trauma, all humans go through tough times. And what keeps us going is that knowing that we're not alone. We have people that loves us and wait for us. And also look at it from, you know what, this is a growth opportunity for me. This opportunity reminded me that I need to eat healthier. I need to take care of my body. I need to listen to my body, right? And I need to follow my instinct. So looking, trying to think about positive things within the negative situations can be very helpful, and connecting with people, even if they're strangers. Not everybody have that, like, personality to go and just throw themselves to strangers and tell them how they feel. But just getting out of that comfort zone at that moment was very helpful to me. And I encourage that to everybody out there who's dealing through with similar situations. Just, just exchange energy, and it's gonna help.
That's good. I mean, that's clever, like get to know the nurses, get to know the people around and learn from them and what's their story. We all have a story,
Oh, yeah.
to share. So what can I learn? What can I learn from you today? And even if it's just a word or an idea, or, if somebody said a phrase, then it rumbles in your head. And if it's a positive one, you'll learn from it. So that's beautiful how you chose to connect and, I guess, share the love that you couldn't physically give to your children and your husband. Yeah, the gratitude, because they were taking care of you. So
yes.
That's
and
beautiful.
trust me, people will tell you great things that will make you feel so good. It's almost like, you've been knowing them for so long. People told me that I am brave, I'm gonna get through this, I'm strong, and I'm like, how do you know? You guys don't even know me. But like that human connection can make a huge difference. And sometimes we cry for our loved ones, and because of the distance and everything, but we still have to look around, because there is greatness in, outside of your family as well.
Yeah, I love what you said. It's like, yes, it's like, stop focusing on what you don't have, because if we don't have our family here, I used to be like that. I used to think that I had to have a sad moment now and then, missing them, just to honor them. And it's like, how wrong, I wasted, I don't know how many hours I wasted just thinking that I had to be sad because I wasn't with them.
Yes.
And I could have been using that time more productively, making a difference. So yeah, it's like, focus on what you have at that time and be grateful and connect with the ones that we have around right now. And we'll learn.
Yes, and there are going to be people who are going to give you a mean look or think you're annoying them. Like, there were times where I asked for so many things and I needed more drinks because I wasn't eating, and so people were not patient with even those people. You just think about their lives and be, you know what, they might be having a bad day. I'm just gonna insist until I get what I need. Always try to make the best of the situation, no matter how challenging it is, because it is what it is. You are stuck and you have to survive, and you just have to come up with, proactive solutions at that moment.
Of course, yes. See the good on it, right?
Yes.
How would you define resilience in your own words?
I was just reading this article about superpower resilience. So I would, from my personal, experience, I would call it's an innate power that we all have. But in order for it to become like a strong skill, we need to nurture it and we need to work on it, just like anything else, right? So we cannot, there is no such a formula to become resilient, right? But we can create our own by knowing our strength, our weaknesses, and learning from our experiences. And life will test us and challenge us every single day, and you are going to end up becoming more resilient as you grow, as you learn, right? Yes. But being aware of it, being aware that it is tough time, I do need to work on my resilience, can make a difference, instead of just like trying to like do it, like just like let it be, so just being courageous, being flexible, being realistic, can make a huge difference and can make you more resilient every day as you learn and grow, and be open to others as well, because being stuck in our own bubble doesn't help. When we just think that, okay, I am a victim, I'm not lucky, I'm the last person who should try this because it didn't work in the past, that's not going to make you stronger and resilient. But thinking that, okay, it is what it is, I have to accept it, I have to cry, I have to do everything it takes to deal with the situation, but then I have to create my own process to recover through that situation, and then learn from other people's experiences, learn about some resilience practices. Nowadays we cannot find an excuse. Everything is online and most of the information is free, which is amazing. So just learn, do research, read, do meditation, do everything it takes to find yourself, find your strength, and find your resilience, and you will find it, whether you want or not.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yes, you're right. Even if we, if we have one of those tantrums moments for
Yeah.
5 minutes, sometimes we need to cry. So it is okay in order for us, to find a resilience. So
Yeah, yeah, find that little child within you, because we all still have it, right?
yes, yes.
That's,
So
I
please
think.
share with us, um, what do you like? How do you, handle motherhood? How do you handle, like the house, being a wife, and then on top of that, following your passion through your profession? What does it look like?
I think these questions would need like maybe a whole year
I
to
know, right? Just very basically, just if you could give us
answer.
one
Yeah,
or two or three, things that
yeah. I
that
was
keeps you
actually,
aligned.
yes, yeah, I was just joking. That's kind of making it fun, but yeah, I mean, finding a balance, between kids' life, being a wife, and trying to like run my own business, being a coach, and what comes with it. Um, comes with a lot of work, right? Like a non-ending work, pretty much. And I just learned something from my own experience, and people that I'm actually following every day, whether in the coach space or in the parenting space or other, like, industries, that just have priorities in life, because we can't be a perfect mom, a great wife, an amazing entrepreneur or coach, or whatever we're doing in the personal career. So I'm just trying to find what's good for me, right? What's a good definition for a mom for me, right? Trying to be a natural, a sweet person to my kids, getting to learn about them, because they have different personalities, they have different temperaments, the way how I see things, my perspective are different from theirs. So getting to know them and getting to know myself in that process can make it easier, to parent them. But again, it's an everyday learning cycle. It never stops. So I always tell myself I wasn't born a mom. I'm learning to become a good one. And I am, but I'm getting better at it every day. And same applies for being a wife, understanding your partner, understanding yourself. Because there are things that you will do during your marriage that you were not doing before. And you're like, why would I do that? Right? Because that's who you are, who you becoming. And so understanding that as well, and working to like learn about relationships, about temperaments, personalities. Like I had to do a lot of research about introversion versus extroversion, because I'm an extroverted mom raising an introverted child and married to an introverted husband. So I'm like, why you guys are thinking like that? Why you react like that? I was every day questioning them, but then I realized they are wired this way and I'm wired otherwise. And so once you understand that brain functionalities, of personalities, that the way how we see things, how we feel things, how we process things can be different, then you start understanding, you start not complaining less, being more empathetic, and creating opportunities that's going to make both sides happy. It's all about like adapting and adjusting. And I think moms are the best people to do that, because we were created with this power that I don't think fathers can, have or can do. And I think that's my purpose in life every day, is to kind of nurture that power and, kind of grow it to, so I can be able to manage. Because to tell you that everything is great, everything is well balanced is not true. But it's every day is better than the day before. That's how I put it this way.
That's beautiful. Yes, that's beautiful. How can we find you? If there is a listener today that is interesting and like, oh, I would like to know more about her and what she does, where can we find you?
Yeah, so I have a podcast like yours on YouTube. I can share with you the link of the channel. I am on social media platforms as well, and I can share that with you. And they can also reach me via email. I mean, it's nowadays it's the best, I mean, the easiest way to connect with someone's googling their name.
Yes, yes, and I'll make sure I write it on the description.
Yes. As of now, I do not have like a website where people can reach out to me, just because I was working directly with companies, so I never needed a website. And now that I'm actually transitioning to working with individuals, it's a work on progress. But for now, we can just use what we have.
Yes, of course. And before you go, before you go, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for giving us your time and sharing your story and talking about resilience and how you do it as a mom and wife and entrepreneur. I truly appreciate you. Uh, what could you share with our audience today? What's something that you could give them for them to begin to create a brighter future?
I would share three things. The first one is to embrace who you are, your identity, yourself, and your personality. And you don't need to be like someone to get somewhere. Okay. The second thing I will say is learn as much as you can. I started doing a coaching certification a year ago with John Maxwell team. And I mean, I learned so much. It doesn't have to be like reading books every day, but just from people, from like watching trainings and just educating myself can make a huge difference. But it doesn't stop there. You got to apply everything you learn, because if you don't take action, you can read like thousands of books and it's not going to make any difference in your life. So learn and take action, they should go together. And finally, the third thing is keep in touch with people that you care for, because we can be super successful and alone and we will be miserable. So just make sure that you hold on to your loved ones, to people that you care for, and nurture those relationships, because they will make a huge difference in your life.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody that is here listening to us. I hope you find a word. I hope you find a phrase. I hope you find an aha moment that you can adopt into your life to create a brighter future. Today there was great content about resilience. I mean, we're still dealing COVID, and our life changes one day at a time. Maybe your kids get quarantined. Maybe you get COVID. It's like we just have to handle and move on with it, move on with our projects one way or another. So I hope you have a blessed day today, and thanks for being here. High five.